Hello, my name is Gabriel, and you are watching rptv News. Each February, the City of Toronto honors the heritage, culture, and contributions of Black Canadians who have played a vital role in shaping this country. For too long, their achievements have been overlooked. Today's program is a tribute to Black achievements in the world of activism, music, literature, athletics, and more. Marci Ian, Member of Parliament for Toronto Centre, hosted the event, where she conducted an interview-style sit-down with the various local role models. Now let's watch the event.
We're excited that everybody's here. We're real happy to have some of the people that we really think are special in the community. They do a lot of things to make sure that we have opportunities with the city, with the province, and with the federal government. So Chris, I just want to introduce you, Chris Morris, our local councilor. Yeah. Chris, thanks for all you do. Appreciate it. You guys know Marci Ian's here tonight. Marci's going to handle the interviews up here. I think that's what she used to do in her former job, so she'll be pretty good at it, so I'm excited to see her do her thing. We got Shahada here, Shahada Jack. The youngest laureate ever. So it's really nice to have her. She's going to do some spoken word for us, so we're excited about that part as well. I also want to thank Max Beck and Barbara Hall for their role in funding this initiative. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate all your support. It's been fantastic to have it. Let's not spend too much time on me talking. Let's see if we can get you up here, Marci, and get you sitting. I just want to get you sitting, and then I'm going to get, and then Caduce, if you can introduce Shahada, we're going to get going, okay? You okay with jumping off right away? Okay, let's go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Caduce. I'm kind of emceeing tonight's event. I would like to introduce a good friend of mine, Shahada. But before she comes up, I want to give a little bio about what she does and how she has helped our club specifically with events and stuff like that. 1 second. So Shahada Jack is a 20-year-old bilingual spoken word poet, performer, human rights activist, and student life from Toronto. Recently releasing her debut single, My Mother's Daughter, she has graced 100+ stages, including the renowned History stage. Shahada, a proud graduate of the Remix Project, weaves her diverse cultural background into her powerful poetry, addressing human rights, the Black experience, and the challenges of adolescence. Named BGC Canada's 2022 National Youth of the Year and recognized as one of the Streets Toronto's most inspirational women of 2022, Shahada invites you to explore her world through her debut Underrated Royalty, available on Amazon. Shahada Jack, everyone.
Regent, I think we're feeling better than that. Regent Park, how are we feeling? My name is Shahada Jack. It is my honor to be here today. As of 2 months ago, I became Toronto's first Youth Poet Laureate. And it was truly an honor, but it was also a moment to recognize that as we speak on Black history in this country, and as we speak on Black futures in this country, that so many of us continue to be on the precipice of the first. Yeah. Of the first to build, to create foundation, and to pioneer culture within this city. Before I begin, I want you to give yourselves a round of applause for showing up for community. It goes without saying that so many of the pioneers of our community, of so many of the innovators, have gone years without receiving their flowers. And as a community and as a people, we always work and we're told to be humble and that it's always community first. And sometimes we forget to tell ourselves, good job. Good job. Congratulations. That you did it. That you broke those generational traumas or barriers or overcame systemic adversities that we're told are normal, that we're told are okay, that are normalized within our system. So as we honor folks today, allow us to truly honor what they really overcame to be in this space and to be here today and to be told, we see you. We see ourselves in your work and we thank you for your work. and to allow it to be an inspiration to continue to pass the flowers on to those in our community and to yourselves that are continuing to uplift each other in these spaces. So before I continue, can you repeat after me and turn to the person next to you and say, "You are powerful." All right. Can you turn to the person in front or behind you and say, "You are excellent"? And now I really need you for this one. Can you repeat after me and say, "I am my ancestors' wildest dreams"? They didn't believe you on that one, you know. So we gotta do it again. 3, 2, 1. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. Now this poem is titled My History. And can I get some snaps? Yeah. Can I get some stomps? Can I get a And I'm from Scarborough, even though I work in Regent. So can I get a cheese? All right. So if you hear anything that resonates with you today, that I share in this next minute, snap, stomp, give me a let it hit you right here. So this is my history. My history is the black girl magic embedded in my lineage. My history is an ode to unsung heroes. It's the mothers still waiting on their flowers. It's the martyrs still waiting on their honors. My history is the black brilliance that shines brightest at the world's darkest hour. My history is Jean Augustine, Rosemary Brown, Josiah Henson, Louis March, and Viola Desmond. It's black girls becoming poet laureates. It's black boys building their own businesses. It's every black child being taught that their dream is limitless. My history is community, creativity, and legacy. My history is black history. My history is our history. I look forward to honoring the amazing pioneers of our community, and I also hope that as we continue today, we remember and recognize that Black history is 365 and goes beyond these 28 days. And let us look into ourselves and see what does that mean for us. So thank you once again, my name is
Thank you very much, Shahada. So now we're going to move on to our awards part of our celebration, and I'm going to hand it off to Marci, and we're just going to go ahead and get started so I can make sure the person that comes up. The mic.
Can everyone hear me? Yes?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
am. Thanks so much. Greg, you're amazing. Isn't Greg amazing? Huge shout out to you. This was an idea that took off because we met at Max and Barbara's house after Max and I met a couple of years ago over this, and we made it happen. And so appreciate you and Trisha, the team, my team, Mariah and Nemo as well. Max and Barb, thank you so much. We're here. We did it. We made it. Thank you. We made it. My name is Marci, and I've been chatting with a lot of you this evening, but my name is Marci, and I'm so happy to be here alongside Chris Moyes, the counselor for Toronto Centre. We do so much work together. I'm so happy to see you and Yusuf here. Thank you for coming. I get to represent you, and it really is the honor of my life. I'm the Member of Parliament for Toronto Centre. I'm also the Minister for Women and Gender Equality. Speaking of you, Shahada Jack, I'm sorry. Right? Honestly, talk about inspirational. Thank you for saying yes. You know, when Greg suggested I thought, she's a little busy. This is Black History Month. I just saw Shahada on network television this afternoon. I know she's got a lot of things to do. She was on The Social, my old show, I'll say that. And you did a great job, Shahada, but to make time for this means a lot to us. So thank you for being here. Thank you. Give another shout out to all of you because I got a little worried. I saw the snow and the streets and the cold, and I thought, are people going to make it? And you came out. So appreciate that. But you came out for the community. You did, and so happy to honor a couple of community members tonight. So what we're going to do is do kind of an interview style. So I'm going to ask each person that is being honored tonight to come join me, and I'll ask maybe a couple of questions. We'll have a short conversation, or I'll come to you, whatever you want, of a short conversation, and then we've got something for you, just to recognize all that you've done and continue to do in this community, for making this community work so well, and for doing it with empathy and kindness every single day. Okay. So Josephine, I know you're holding your plate.
Barbara, you can't hear me.
Barbara, you can't hear me? Uh-oh. Okay, I need to speak louder. Did everybody else just not hear what I said? Yeah. I'll speak louder though, okay? Barbara, Josephine, I hate for you to put down your plate, but I'm gonna ask for you to put down your plate. Josephine Gray is power. She is a human rights advocate, a powerful community organizer. But when I met you, Josephine, back in 2020, we talked about community, but we talked about the lack of food in community. We had serious conversations about oasis. Pardon? Oh, closer? Yeah. Hold it, close. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So when I first met Josephine, is that better? When I first met Josephine in 2020, we talked a lot about food and the lack of it. We were in St. Jamestown. And Josephine runs Oasis, which is such an important food hub in the community, helping and serving so many people, and you do it with such heart, Josephine. So we want to honor you. I'm going to sit down because I want to ask you a few questions. And why don't we start with the food hub? What it is, but also why you felt you had to start it, and you did. A lot of people see issues in communities and they think, well, someone else will take up that charge. Somebody else can take care of that. But that's not what you did. You said, I'm going to do this, and you've done it for years. So I'm so happy you're here. But tell us a little bit about what motivated you to start.
Oh boy, it goes back a ways. As a single parent with chemical sensitivities, I struggled to feed my kids for a period of time, and I became a widow and realized that it was hard to get really healthy, decent food back then. And so I helped to start Food Share Toronto in the late 80s. And as things continue to evolve and change, and I was been part of the St. Jamestown community since the 80s as well. And we decided in the early 2000s, or 2012 or so, that we needed to have a specific project to help newcomers coming to Canada, because we knew that for a lot of newcomers, particularly from the Golden South, their health begins to deteriorate when they live in Canada for the first few years. So we knew part of that was food, and we wanted to create a different kind of food program, different kind of food project. But we also had a lot of people understanding the impact of climate chaos, who are coming from countries that were already struggling. And we were looking at, we're a very food insecure country. We have a very short growing season. We have a lot of people from around the world here. How do we have a healthy diet that is good for a lot of different kinds of people, from different cultures, different faiths, different physical needs? So we really just did a lot of brainstorming, and a lot of really smart, well-educated people came together, and we created the Oasis Food Hub model. We started the St. Jamestown Community Co-op to develop it, and Oasis stands for Organic, Agroecological, Sustainable, Integrated System. And the idea is that every community should have the infrastructure, the capacity, and the knowledge to have food, energy, and water security. We also were very concerned about the emergencies that keep happening in St. Jamestown, people being displaced when their buildings break down, and making sure there was decent, healthy food for them, and not just horse cars. We blessed in heaven, so that's not a healthy diet, especially for a lot of people. So there are many, many reasons. I think really what inspired me the most was that we are the most diverse community in the world, but also a community that's like a microcosm or a ground zero of a lot of the world's problems.
How many people do you think you support on a daily basis?
Well, it goes up and down like a yo-yo. It depends on what's going on, but there, during the pandemic, we were feeding 400 households every week, and quite a lot. And we work with a lot of youth and different folks, and we're really just trying to generate solutions for the future, like lasting climate resilience. So there's people outside the community we work with as well. So we work with farmers, local Black farmers, and our Roots Rising project is focused on Black food sovereignty or Indigenous food sovereignty, because we see our community as being the most in need, but also holding so much knowledge and wisdom. And we want to flip the script on the corporate food system.
Yeah. And I love the fact, though, that Oasis has culturally relevant food, because that means a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You realize it's not just a matter of comfort food, it's a matter of need. If your ancestors have been accustomed to a certain diet for millennia, you can't just, suddenly acclimatize to winter diet. I mean, I don't even want like cabbage, potatoes, whatever. It really goes so far for our people, right? I'm half Jamaican, and I can tell you when I'm down there eating that food in that environment, I'm so much healthier. Of course. Especially in the winter. So, but also it's a basic human right. The human right to food, and everybody should know this, means that the food is accessible, affordable, culturally appropriate, clean, sustainable, so it'll be available to future generations. Sustainable so that it doesn't destroy the ecology. And unadulterated, so it's not full of chemicals, it's not highly processed, it's not making people sick. This is the human right to food, which Canada signed on to, and which Marci and her office has been so helpful in helping us to try to advance that. But it's a big challenge to get that through, and to get people to understand and recognize it's our human right. We can stand up and fight for that. And honestly, we cannot build a better world on an empty stomach. And people cannot do good community work or evolve into the new age of AI or whatever if they're not healthy. And what's at the core of health is food and clean water, right? So
we cannot build a better world on an empty stomach, quote unquote. We are honored to honor you tonight. Josephine, thank you so much for being here, for the work you do. Greg's on his way over to present, but thank you. Thank you for sitting down and letting people know the amazing work that we do if they're not familiar with you already.
Thank you so much. I also want to show appreciation to the Boys and Girls Club, because at CYC we've been able to gather our families there and do things there. And
we'll take some pictures too. Okay?
Marci's here from over. We're going to do it together, Marci.
Yeah, let's do it together. Oh, yeah. You should be in the middle.
Good Lord.
It's paparazzi here. You guys can meet?
Yeah, we got you.
You take the heat on.
Nice.
Karen Grant is a change maker. You are. You know what I always say? Heroes don't know they are. Right? But it's true. When you do work and you do it because you've got a heart for service and a heart for community, you just don't know. You don't, right? So when people actually say thank you, you think you don't deserve all the things, but you deserve every single flower. Karen Grant, alongside her daughter Tihani White, are proud residents of Regent Park, doing some amazing, amazing work. You've had some personal experiences that have really caused you to focus on youth violence.
How many Kleenex?
We'll get you some Kleenex. To focus on youth violence and really being there for young people in a tangible way in Regent Park. But I have to say, thanks so much, Regent. I have to say that, you know, the work goes beyond Regent, Karen, but we're so happy that you're here. We're happy to honor you, and I'm going to sit down and we'll have a little chat, okay? You okay? Karen's going, I wasn't supposed to come. I wasn't supposed to. So, the work that you do for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about? Do you want to tell us a little bit about your story, Karen, and why you started along this path?
Okay. Unfortunately, on Thanksgiving weekend, 2010, my son was shot in Regent Park. His father was a well-known drummer, and he was coming back from rehearsal, riding his bike, and he said the bike he was on Gerard, it ended up going down Dundas, and next thing he heard, Seelan's on the 6th he's been shot. And he wasn't a lot of things, I'm not going to just make it short, but Seelan didn't make it. And he passed away, and then 4 years later, his father manifested that grief into cancer, and he passed away. And with the help of Sandra Costain, among other people, we did a celebration of life.
Sandra from Dixon.
Yeah. She's a big factor in this. So she organized that because I was in there but not there. And we buried him on Father's Day, and at the event I said this is the first Father's Day in Regent Park, and I think people just thought I was just chatting. But then I think in January I'd gone out with a friend of mine, and I came home and I'm like, I want to do an event. And so we did the first Black History, and it was at Daniels, and it was the same model, and that's what my model is. It's entertainment, food, and you come as a community and just know your neighbors. And also the premise of it was that the elder statesmen, musicians, were supposed to take in the youth and teach them, and and bring the community together. And so that's what we've done. I've done shows for the last 10 years. COVID, we did one in my living room, we did one in my basement, or my backyard. And I've learned so many skills. I've had so many angels. Bob from Elections Canada, that's one of my supporters for this event. And I slept through my interview, and through a series of events I just talked to Bob, and he gave me his extension, said call anytime. So I'm phoning thinking he's going to get the message Tuesday, but he was there Saturday and rescheduled me so that I could go on Monday. Yeah, so I've got a lot of angels along the way that have got me here. I certainly didn't get here by myself.
No.
Leslie from the K Club, my children know Leslie. So we go back from then. She was wonderful with them now, and now she's extended that to myself as well.
There are a lot of people who, would have experienced the grief that you did and would have run. Nobody would have blamed you if you just said, I'm just shutting it down, right? I need to be alone. This is too much. But you turned that around, and you've turned it around to help community. Tell me a little bit about that and how you got there.
Most definitely, grief is a very personal thing. I think that just for anybody, you should be mindful of what the words that you use. Like for you, some people it's been too long. Like those things, maybe for you, but each person is individual and they have their own experiences. I went through, it's been a very rocky road. I think that this event has helped me to challenge, to keep me going, because there are definitely days that I was just like, I'm not leaving the house, which would happen over weeks and months, like with my daughter and my good friend Rebecca and my mother. Also, if there's somebody else that I wanted to, I can't even remember. But also I've come in contact, so I did do counseling. It's been 15 years, and finally I realized that like it was just too much. And Mothers of Peace, who was created with Soraya and Louis. Louis at my last show. He had such a good time. He saw a friend of his, Wire, that was performing, and I was not the most organized. And so we were running late, and I was trying to get it together because I knew Louis is a busy man, and he was going to speak in and leave, but he stayed and had food, and we took some pictures. I'm trying to get a hold of those, and I think that may have been the last event that he was at.
For those who don't know, Louis March passed away.
Yeah, 2 weeks after, yeah. And I remember one of the things he said was, just do it. So actually I wasn't going to do another show because financially it's been like, this is 2025. Everybody's having a hard time. So I've had a lot of sponsors that have no longer, or they do less, or they give me different things, which is fine. But it was like, you know what, I'm tired and I'm not doing it anymore. And that was supposed to be my last one. And then, I don't know, somehow, here we are. But this is my last grassroots one. I'm going to be partnering with Mothers of Peace from here on in.
That's great.
Yeah, moving on up.
That's amazing, amazing. Last question for you, Karen. You won't say this about yourself, but I will say it right here. That there are so many lives that you saved. The work that you're doing is true. The work that you're doing. Has there been an instance where somebody's come forward and shared just that, without getting too personal?
Not necessarily, but there is a young man. Unfortunately, he's not here. Oh, sorry. There's a young man. Unfortunately, he's not here anymore. But when Seelan passed away, he lived across in Regent Park. Because I live in the co-op, so technically I'm not in Toronto housing. But Seelan, we had a basketball court in the co-op, but no, he had to go to Southside. I don't even know how it works. But he always had to play because he actually his Facebook or something is Reminisce Parker, and it's for Regent Park. Like, he was so, anyway, Johnny was a little white boy, no, but so you know, he would come and have tea with me on the steps to just continue I was grieving and stuff like that. And he went through a lot of things. There was a program, Shop of Canada, he went through for 6 weeks, and it was great. The little old ladies loved him at the bargain shop. But then unfortunately, after the 6 weeks, it just dropped off, and nothing more came of it, and then he was left foundering. And he went through a lot of things, and unfortunately Johnny's not here. It was gun violence that. But he was one of those people, I think, I think maybe he was helping me. I thought maybe I was helping him, but really he was helping me. Just a little thing like having tea on the doorstep, you know? Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'll be keeping track.
Oh yeah, I'm just stalking you.
Yeah. I'm so happy to hear. Okay, want to take a picture or two?
You know, I don't really do pictures, but I'll do one.
Please do. Please do.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. And Keisha, my daughter gets one picture a year. And I get one in August. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
We're going to bring you back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Here now, right? Sorry.
So, as you know, we are meant to honor 4 people tonight. One of them, Jazz Shukla, an amazing Olympian from Cabbagetown. Cabbagetowners might know her mom, Angie, who has a flower shop as well. Who doesn't know Angie? But Jazz was flying in apparently, and she's right here. Oh, Jazz, you're here! Jazz, I'm sitting here going, I'll just accept on her behalf. I'm so glad. And Jazz is here, so cancel all of it. So happy to hear it, Jazz. I said, no, she's not going to make it. Please come up and join me, okay? So glad you're here. Jazz is telling me I was stuck in traffic, and I heard something about luggage and all of the things.
My bag's not here, but I'm here.
I'm so happy you are. You're going to use that microphone for me? Okay, so I will just read a bit of your bio, but you are a true inspiration, Jazz. I remember when we met back in 2020.
Yeah.
And you were helping your mom out in the shop, and I went to get some stuff. And you know what? It's not just your athletic achievements which are amazing, but you give back to your community, and you always have. Jaz's journey in athletics began at a young age, running in the Cabbagetown festivals, Blair Run, where she quickly became known as one of the fastest, one of the quickest in her age group. She was a legend then. This past summer, she represented Canada. We were so proud in the Paris Olympics, competing in the 800 meters. And then, just days after the Olympics, she flew home, came back home, so that she could take part in Cabbagetown's Blair Run, because why would she miss it? So she came home from Paris. You have made such a lasting impact on young people, but also those of us that are a bit older, for your tenacity and your kindness and your perseverance. You represented Canada so well, so well.
Yes.
So we'll start with the role model question, because you're a role model, Jazz, to so many young athletes. But as a young runner yourself, what advice would you or do you give to not just aspiring runners, but to young people who have a dream and just aren't sure that they can get there, that they can achieve that dream?
I think like the biggest thing that I've learned over my running career and like just life in general is that the universe has a way of just delivering you to the place you're supposed to be. So if you know what you want to do and you just put that out into the universe, it will give it back to you. And I think the biggest thing has been honestly release. Like, just not holding that tension of wanting to achieve something, just kind of releasing yourself into the process. And I think that applies to everything, not just sports.
That's so true, but it takes a certain confidence, it takes faith, it takes a lot of stuff to even feel that way and be comfortable in everything that you just said. Where does that come from?
I think from my family, from my mother primarily. She's
Microphone.
Oh yeah, sorry. From my mother primarily, who's parking the car, I think. You know, I've seen her go through a lot and kind of just roll with the punches in a way that just kind of taught me that, you know, life goes in waves and things come and things go, and you always, you know, find your balance.
Yeah. Speaking of balance, you are balancing, and get this everybody, neuroscience studies. Neuroscience. I'm done. Okay, with an athletic career. So what's the plan now? That's why I'm done. So what's the plan?
So I'm just running.
Which is running.
Yeah, I'm just running. It's my job now. So
And that's a very good thing.
I love it.
So training is
Training
where
is
do you
it.
train?
So right now I'm training in Vancouver, but I'm in the middle of it's nice and warm there. You know, it was 10 degrees when I left. But I'm in the middle of a move to Utah to do a professional training group.
That's wonderful. Congratulations on that. Last question for you. Yeah, Utah the state. What moments in your journey stand out as key turning points for you? Sometimes in life we have what I would call transitions and important points, right? Where it's, do I take door A? Do I take door B? Or do I just throw that all out and create door C? Right? So were there turning points in your life that you think have led you to where you are right now?
This kind of goes with what I was saying about like just releasing into the process. Like I had pneumonia for a couple of years, and so I was medically retired from track. And during the pandemic, I had a lot of free time. I was going a little insane. I could no longer run. And at a certain point, I just like hit a point where I was like, I just need to go for a run. And so I called my friend who's a 10K runner, like not my distance, and every day I would just go out with her and run a half marathon every day. And it's so not what I wanted to do, but I think there was something about just like the repetitive, you know,
There's something calming about,
and just being in a process where I was like, I'm never gonna race a track race again, but I'm just doing this because I love it and finding that kind of peace in the process and not being focused on it getting me anywhere. I think that's kind of been my turning point of like, I actually just like what I do, not because it gets me anywhere, but because it's just like, it's a place where I can find peace.
Don't we all? That's the goal. I want to thank you for making it here. I am so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here.
We are honored to honor you. We've got something for you. Greg's coming over with it now. Can you take a picture or two with us? Okay.
Yes. Good to see you.
That's okay. Just leave it. Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. I'll keep this up here.
I'm just checking, are we okay? Yeah, okay. Because I'm happy to come to you. Okay.
I'm going to say a few words, and I'm going to have to cut out a lot of things to talk about Mr. Denham Jolly. That's wonderful. Thanks so much, Jen. Okay, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
I'll give this mic to you, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm comfortable. Thank you.
Denham, Mr. Jolly has a book up here, and honestly, if I did this justice, I would be reading every page in order to introduce him, but I'll just say a few words about Mr. Jolly.
Well, the book won the Toronto Book Award in 2017.
It did. Mr. Jolly is saying that In the Black won a Toronto Book Award in 2017. It is a bestseller. And it's good reason. Mr. Jolly is a businessman. He is a philanthropist with a huge heart. He is a social activist. And he has had a lasting impact, not just on this city of Toronto, but it goes way, way beyond that. His 12-year fight to launch Flow 93.5, the first black-owned radio station, brought urban music to the country. I was a reporter back then. I remember Milestone, as it was called, and the fight, and it was a pleasure to cover that. But it gave a platform to Canadian Black artists that simply wasn't there before. It was such important work. Mr. Jolly mentioned his memoir, In the Black, My Life, earning the Toronto Book Award in 2017, and it chronicles his personal journey and a broader fight for justice. What an amazing, amazing life. He has also generously supported communities in St. Jamestown, in Cabbagetown, in Regent Park, and beyond. And in recognition of his contributions, Mr. Jolly was appointed a member of the Order of Canada in 2020. It is our absolute honor to present him the Legacy Award, but before we do that, sir, we're going to sit down and chat for a bit. Okay? So I'm sitting down now. Okay. I am. When we were planning to have this night, Denham and his lovely partner Jan were out of town, and I said, okay, so when do they get back? And so we were figuring that out because we frankly couldn't do this without you. there have been a lot of lessons, sir, that you have learned in life. Is there one that stands out that you'd want to impart? One that made you grow or learn the most?
I'll answer the question in a minute, but I'm sure you could have done it without me because there are many people here tonight.
There's only one you.
Nevertheless, there are many people here tonight, like Max and Barbara and the counselor, Mr. Marci, and so forth, and yourself, who I have always admired. We met years ago, and in the community actually, we were early for appearance at a function, and we chatted.
We got to chat, yeah.
Right. But I think one of the things that stands out is what Jazz just said. I don't know if anyone missed it, but what she was talking about was the tenacity of purpose. That what people call stick-to-itedness. Don't give up. Because it will come, and it took us 12 years to get that radio license and 3 attempts. But we never gave up. We say, you know what, we're not going to let you beat us. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. And in fact, it brings to mind the under 12 soccer team here in Regent Park. I was approached by Selwyn Peters, who was their coroner from Guyana, to say, you know, these guys want to start a team, and they would love, they see other kids with uniforms and bags and shoes, and they'd love to start a team. I said, let's go for it. And we did, but one of the problems, in fact, they won the league that first year. But one of the problems is, if you can imagine, this is a Regent Park under 12 team. They couldn't practice in their own backyard. So, with help from City Hall and so forth, we managed to do it. Now, they have expanded into several teams. And I could not understand why they couldn't practice in their own backyard, because there's no problem for the government to put out $84,000 to the police. But here's the point where it's either the gun or you take care of those kids. Thanks, Marci.
You make a really, really good point, and I want to talk about your activism, because you talked about stick-to-itiveness. And when it comes to fighting for community, even fighting for yourself, that is exactly what you've done. And you've impacted,
Thank you.
no, it's true, and you've impacted community doing so because you've led by example. Tell us a little bit about what I'll call milestone / Flow 93.5 and the fight. 12 years is not a short period of time. The fight to bring urban radio to Toronto, to Canada.
Well, you know, everybody knows black people in music. In fact, one of the first questions that the CRTC asked us when we applied for the first license in 1988, Mr. Charlie, so what is black music? Right away you know where they're going with that. You know? And I said, you know what? You're not going to overpower me. And so I'm not going anywhere. And in fact, if there was a hearing in Cobourg, in Quebec City, in Montreal, whether I was applying or not, I was right there in the front, getting in the front line, steering in their face. And it took us 12 years and 3 applications and a lot of money before they finally, one of the things we said, with all the black talent in this city, in this country, we're going to take all of those kids out of their basements and their garages and put them on mainstream radio. And that's what we did.
That's exactly what you did.
hip-hop and R&B was not even played in the city. In fact, we were the first radio station in Canada to play Drake.
Have you talked to him lately? I need to behave. Was there ever a time after, one, two, and 3 times where you thought, this isn't going to work, let me move on to something else?
Of course, there were a lot of times. In fact, a lot of my partners dropped out. But I said, I'm not going to let them overpower me. I have something to prove. And the community has something that's needed. And we're as entitled as the trees and the stars.
How do you feel about Toronto in 2025? Where we're going as a city? I'm going to throw inclusivity in there. We already have the diversity. How do you feel about where we are? Are we going in the right direction? Is it better than when you first got here?
I think it's getting better, but we still have a long, long way to go. But it is getting better. I mean, you're in Parliament, you're fighting for us. In the old days, there were no black people in Parliament. There were 2 black lawyers in the whole city. And now we have, I just met a young lady there that's being sponsored by Max and Barbara at Osmond Hall. Stand up for us. We have the Alexander Law School, where the dean is a black woman. So we're making improvements, but we have a long way to go.
But you see the change.
Yeah, change has come, but we have many more rivers to cross.
We do. Sir, I could talk to you all night, but I'm going to leave it there. I have to tell you, you are such an inspiration, and I don't even know that that's a big enough word. But you are, and we are so proud to honor you the Legacy Award tonight.
Well, thank you.
I'll just go over here. No, I'm good.
You can move over there.
Oh, you sure? Okay. Yeah, just sit with me. Yes, please. Thanks so much.
All right, so as we near the end, first of all, I just want to give all the recipients just a hand. It was incredible. Nice to hear their stories. Marci, fantastic job of conducting interviews, getting people to tell their stories. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Before we close tonight, we're going to have one more spoken word from Shahada. And they're also incredible. Yes, you're going to come out and play. But we're going to have the spoken word first, and you'll jump in and you'll play. And I'm looking forward to hearing that as well. So I'm excited about that. And Karen, did you have one thing you wanted to announce before we end this? You want to just come up real quick and let's get that announcement in.
Yes, sir, my mouth is full again.
Okay.
The food is delicious.
Yeah, get your announcement. Get your announcement.
So I do have the 10th annual Black History event this Saturday. And it's a free event providing craft kits for the children to take home, delicious food wonderful entertainment. You're more than welcome to come. You just have to bring yourself, and that's it. Cotton candy and popcorn. And I guess we'll leave. There's a flyer, I think, on the door. Oh, it's 120 Cornwall Street. It's sorry.
That's okay.
It's in Regent Park. Just behind. It's behind Sam's. Yeah, in the party room. Yeah, in the Oakshie Court where I live. So please, anybody who's here, please join us.
Thank you. And again, thank you to everybody for coming. We're going to have the spoken word, and then we're going to have that nice guitar music, and then we're going to wind it down, let you folks just grab some food and kind of see yourselves out for the evening. But thank you so much for making this a successful event for the first year. And Marks and Bart, thank you. Marci, you going to introduce?
Do you want me to introduce first?
Whoever's got the beautiful introduction.
I'll read the, yes. Turning this back on. So here's what I have, and I'm so looking forward to this. Ferdis Hussein is in her 7th year at Dixon Hall Music Hall. Since coming to Canada at a young age, she has found both a voice and a home at Dixon Hall Music School, where she has studied voice guitar and sung in her senior choir. Tonight, you've got 2 original songs. Is that right, Ferdis? Two songs for us?
You got hundreds.
You got hundreds of songs, but we're lucky enough to hear 2 of them tonight. We're so looking forward to it, and welcome. We're happy you're here.
Thanks.
After all these years, it stays in the front of my mind, and I'll apologize for all the things I did right. Forgive me now, I'm Canadian now. I'm nice, but I come from a neverland. I don't talk about how can I leave such a beauty where the palm trees are, where my family's heart is. But it's dangerous outside. Mama's got a dog to sleep at night, and even dogs aren't enough to keep you alive. No, the elements are pushed up against mine. Don't you make a sound, don't you cry. There's fire on these walls, but just sing on tight. Burning, burning, burning. But hello, thank you, and I'm sorry. This land, your skin is what saved me, and mine was just close to that burning degree. 'Cause I come from a neverland. I won't talk about how can I leave the pretty Red Sea, where buildings look like Italy's, where I'll dress in camel starting 18. I mean, my mama says I'm brave. She sees it in my face, so why don't I show her what I got in the military? You know, 'cause it's dangerous outside. Mama's got a dog to sleep at night, and even dogs aren't enough to keep you alive. No, the elements are pushed up against mine. Don't you make a sound, don't you cry. There's fire on these walls, but you sing on tight. Burning, burning, burning. Burning, burning, burning. Thank you for listening. This next one, I don't have a title to it, but I still hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Okay, so then we're gonna have one final performance. Shahada, are you ready? All right. Well, let's go. Do your thing.
Thank you. Regent, if we're feeling good, can I get a yeah, yeah? Yeah, yeah. I think
think we're feeling better than that. Regent, if we're feeling good, can I get a yeah, yeah? Yeah! Before I begin, can you please give it up one more time for Kiwanis BGC, Marci, the young talent that Regent witnessed. It's truly been a beautiful night of intergenerational stories, intergenerational talent, intergenerational innovation, and most importantly, intergenerational inspiration. I truly believe that our pain is our power, but our beauty is our story. Not too long ago in 2021, I was a staff right here working at Kiwanis BGC, and my story has changed so much since then. I share that to say that I grew up in Scarborough, but my mom works on Blake Street, and I work now in Regent Park, and there's so many symbiotic stories that connect our communities. But here in Regent Park, every corner of this community is truly home. And it is a people that are fueled by pain, but rise with the beauty of community. And I believe tonight, the 4 honorees are truly, as we can all see, and as I feel in this room, a testament to that, as many of you in this space are as well. So as you sit here in honor, we honor you in this space as a community as well. And before I share, I have a piece titled Underrated Royalty that I wrote in 2020. And this piece is about the people in our history books that we may never read about. And it's so important that we continue to cultivate these spaces so younger generations can remember, so younger generations can call in our stories, that they do not end, that we don't forget what it means to be Black in Canada and who set the foundation for Black excellence for us in this country. So this is Underrated Royalty. We're feeling good? Yeah. Can I get some snaps? Can I get some stomps? Can I get a Can you turn to the person next to you and say, I see you? I see you. Can you turn to the person in front or behind you and say, I hear you? I hear you. Beautiful. Spoken word is more than just a performance. It's the closest form of art to ancestral African storytelling. So as you hear this, remember our ancestors, why we do what we do. Dear colonizer, master of our history, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of being the reason why some have no roots to claim? Confused as to why they can't find their motherland in their name? Diluted by the tongue of the oppressor, the oppressors being your ancestors. Lost in the confusion and the diffusion of what we now call a historical illusion. The rich names of Nubian kings and queens now lost to the slave deemed undeserving of a name of meaning. The rich names of Nubian kings and queens altered to fit the American dream. The rich names of Nubian kings and queens. Nefertiti, Makeda, Kandake, Asantua emerge as Laquisha, Uniqua, Monisha, known as the ghetto names. Names your broken tongues butcher no matter how hard my people struggle to assimilate to your television expectations. They're unrecognizable to your westernized filter. You spent lifetimes attempting to erase Black beauty from the hands of time with your false narratives, pacifying your fear of the strength of our culture with the notion that you can prevent melanated magnificence in future generations with racial extermination. You've dedicated your living to discrediting my Blackness, exposing your envy of my beautiful Black grace with your hidden Black face, found in the political correctness of cultural appropriation, its beauty dull in your interpretation, causing a societal revelation that Black is beautiful, but only on a Black queen. That Black is powerful, but only in the hands of a Black being. We underrated royalty. Thank you once again. My name is
Did you want to make that one last comment? We got one last little event we got, and we're over. And also, if the recipients can start. Yeah, we just got one last little event before we're going to make an announcement for it.
Hello, everybody. So beautiful, Shahada. One word in my whole body is goosebumps every time. So yeah, and beautiful performance as well. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. If you haven't, you can come scan this flyer at the end, but we will be also having a Black History Month at Cafe Zuzu. So it's on Dundas Street, so we're turning. So it would be nice to have you guys all come out. We have Dixon Hall Music School as well as the Community Music School of Toronto. And the one group that will be curated by parents who works with Square Circle. So pretty much that's it.
When?
February 25th, sorry. February 25th. It's from 4 to 7. Sorry, 4 to 6 for the community, and then there'll be an evening event from 7 to late. Okay. Yeah. And that's all. Thank you so much.
Again, thanks everybody for coming. It was a great night. You all made it a great night. Thanks for making the effort. We went a little long. Thank you for your patience in the beginning. If we could bring the recipients up, the awards recipients up, we're going to get a group picture, and then we can. Trisha, anything I'm leaving out?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. All right, and our board's here tonight too. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please follow our social media platforms. And for more information, please visit our website.